I hope we're all doing well. How are we doing? Hope we had a decent week, trading wise and personal wise. So it's Friday. Let's see if we can find some intraday opportunities, or we just sit our hands and wait for next week. Let's get right into it. For Euro USD, as we can see, it is trading in between this demand and this supply, and we don't this imbalance right here, right? And this supply, and we don't want to be fighting between two zones, right? So we just let it pick a direction for now. If it starts to break these lows, then I would have more interest, but if not, I would just see maybe it breaks these highs and we start, you know, to trickle up higher. But right now, okay, so we can see if we go to the 4 hour, right? You can see, let's take, this is our whole range, but let's delete this rectangle for a second. This is our demand zone, right? Took out this liquidity, we pushed up from there, right? In almost touched the supply, but we didn't. Now we've come in here, we've touched this supply, which has caused this down push, and now we've swept this low. So for us, once we start to see fractal breaks towards the high, we start to take, like, we're interested in higher prices. Okay, so remember this was our NFT low, which you could still also come to swipe. Let's see how it goes on GU and other pairs. It has actually swiped it, so I don't know if EU I will want to do that. So let's see how it goes. We're just holding our hands right now, which if we start to we can which also coincides with the monthly open, right? But if we start to push up and break fractal structure, we can just start looking for higher prices. We have this descending highs, this trend line liquidity right here. We can target the quarterly open to take out this supply range, right, which is a strong supply because it broke market structure. Or we could just target this NFP low, which is also the monthly open. So whichever one it wants to do, we would be following it. But right now we're just staying our hand, right? Okay. So on the dollar, as we've been looking for higher prices on the dollar, right? So here we have this imbalance, right? This daily imbalance. While we're looking for higher prices, we have a third trend line touch, major trend line touch, which is the monthly channel. So we expect that bounce up, right? Or we're looking for that bounce up if we get it. Here also we have one, two, and then but we haven't had a third touch on this trend line. Okay, so you can see right here, we have here this imbalance, right? We have this push down this whole supply level. Then we have, if we want to refine it, we will refine it to this imbalance candle right here, and then it's acting to push the market up higher. Okay, so market came into here and now we're just trickling up higher and higher. So let's see what the dollar has for us. We want to take out this whole area, right? This liquidity area, right? And then we can start trickling upward, probably even to target this supply, right? If that makes sense. Okay, so let's see where we finish. Right, let's see where this move finishes. Okay, because right now we're just in the bullish leg. You can see demand holding, demand holding, demand holding, acting to push the market up higher and higher. So we don't want to be short in the dollar for now, which means long on the dollar means short on EU, short on GU and co. Okay, so for GU, I mean, just been running down and coming down and coming down. So first we took a loss here, right? We took a loss on this area right here. So we had this, the thing was such not a good loss because we didn't even have, like, we had the change of character on the 4 hour, but according to the daily there was no confirmation. So you can see, okay, so we swiped this liquidity right above here, then we pushed up once we broke that fractal structure coming into here, right? So we came in, we took out that liquidity, so that fractal low, we broke it, our entry right above here, and then we just took us straight to stop loss. But this week we had that opportunity, which I couldn't take because on Monday I wasn't on the market, but it happened on Monday, right? So we've had this um, push down on Friday last week. Then we retraced into making this our supply level. We retraced into there, right? Once we came into here, the sell, it was time for the sell, right? So we could have just sold from here, right? Putting your stop above here and targeting a 1 2 3. At its peak it gave you a 1 2 5 even, but you could have just targeted a 1 2 3 and boom, TP hit on Wednesday, just a few days later. Beautiful trade overall. But so let's analyze this trade. Here we have this consolidation, this area of supply also, right? And then we came into here, then we pushed down from that supply. Now once we came back into there, we have that liquidity, right? This liquidity resting here. We took out that liquidity. Once we took out that liquidity, wanted to see that change of character. We saw that change of character, then retraced, and then boom, just started to sell from there. Guys, it is just like that. It could be just that simple, you know. Look for liquidity, your area of supply, look for liquidity. We're trading in premium, right? Put your premium versus discount too. We're trading in premium right here, right? This is our swing high and our low, right? We have here, this was actually the beginning of that V-shaped reversal that broke market structure. So we could take it like this. So if we go to daily, let me even draw from the daily. So if we go to the daily, you can see what I'm saying. All right, beautiful, beautiful premium, right? Just a beautiful trade overall, in which we even retraced into 100% of this leg, right? We traced into 100% of this leg, took out this whole descending liquidity, took everything out, and then we just started to sell from there. Now we'll just wait. Okay, maybe perhaps we could, now we have this supply level pushing market down, supply level pushing market down, supply level push market down. So as we come back into the supply, and then we can start looking for further sales to take it to the 1.333 area, right? Okay, so let's watch out for that. AU also very beautiful this week. You know, it's such a shame, but it's fine. You know, I did say this. We saw the opportunity. I couldn't take it. I hope a lot of you guys and people who are here could take it, who have been watching this or have been following for quite some time now. So I hope you people could take it. I just couldn't. All right, so let's analyze AU for the culture, right? So here we have this descending highs, which we're waiting for it to get grabbed. It got grabbed, similar to the GA story, right? It got grabbed. We had that change of character, but then took out the early sellers. I didn't sell on this one yet because I was waiting for it to hit here. So now we hit that on Thursday, and then boom, once we hit it, we came up, grabbed liquidity, and it didn't even look back. So for the conservative ones, you could have waited at this area of demand, right? And then okay, once it came back into it, it gave us another opportunity, came, grabbed liquidity. Similar thing here. So you can see that similar price action, right? Here also, we came in here, we grabbed liquidity. Once in that move, we started to sell. Similar thing here. Came in here, grabbed liquidity, started to sell. Came in here, grabbed liquidity, started to sell. So that is a pattern that AU shows that, or has been showing, and it showed it 3 times consecutively. Like if you're taking this trade based on just that liquidity grab, you could have made some money. Here also could have made some money. Here also could have made some money. So is, guys, it is just this simple. And I'm telling you this, and I'm telling myself this. It is just this simple. We don't have to complicate things. Let's move on to NU, right? You can see with NU, we didn't have those liquidity grabs, right? It just shows how, okay, we had it here, shows area of strong supply, and then we came into here, we didn't even come back into the supply, didn't even grab liquidity, okay, we did right here and then we push down. So similar market, similar price movement. We just have to follow this, follow the rule: supply area, liquidity, grab, change of character, and then find your entry. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. It could all be so simple, guys. It could all be so simple. And then and you didn't even connect with the it didn't connect here, it didn't connect here, right? But it could all be so simple, guys. So on gold, yesterday, guys, we took a trade on gold, which we kind of admit is not the highest probability of trades, right? So what do we have? Because I would rather be trading gold from here than here, right? And why is that? Because if let's put our, we're in a range in gold, right? And if we're in a range, what do we want? Want to be buying from the 0.25 and want to be selling from the 0.75 area. And right now gold is selling from that 0.75 area, and you can see, so we came here, we came into this demand area, and then we pushed up. Now we pushed down to retest this, but we couldn't push up. And this trend line, now we have 1, 2, and on the third touch we started to push down. Where was our fractal high? This became, we broke that fractal structure right here, and now we're just pushing down. So I would just, what I'm gonna do now is, I came into a trade on gold yesterday because, okay, so we're at 50%, we're at the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, right? We're at the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. We had this strong area of demand which took out this liquidity, right? And then we had that push up from that demand, and then we came back, took out this liquidity, right? This ascending channel liquidity. Once we took it out, I was just waiting. Okay, change of character. We had that here, even on the daily. Okay, so we had push up, push down. So we didn't, and then this became that candle. And once we started to push up, all we just wanted was, okay, retracement, and then we find that buy. So we came in here on the retracement into the supply level, into this demand level, rather, this newly formed demand level, and then we waited. Okay, let's start pushing up from there, but it's not happening, so probably it's gonna be a losing trade. So let's see if bulls step in. Nice. If they don't, we wait for another trade. Okay, and then let's have a look at US oil, which we've been talking about for quite some time now, right? On US oil, right? If we come here, you can see we're in a channel, right? And we had that third touch, touch above, right? We push market lower, and once you push market lower, we have, okay, here the first thing we want to recognize is, okay, where's our swing low and where's our swing high? So we have here a swing low, we have here a swing high, right? And then we retraced into here, this area of demand, which took out liquidity, took out this range liquidity, so it's quite strong, and also has liquidity resting right above it. So we took out those liquidity, and then coming into here, we can see we're forming a channel, right? So what we waited for was, okay, let's wait for this channel to break. It broke, retrace, and then you just find your entry, which will stop below the fractal low, targeting this high right here for a 1, 2, 3, right? For a 1, 2, 3. Quite a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. Okay, so, and then finally, let's analyze this loss we took on GBP JPY. So on GBP JPY, right, we're looking for a short. While we're looking for a short, we grab this area of liquidity right above. Right after that area of liquidity, what do we want? We're expecting a short. And if we look at the higher time frame, you can see, okay, we're in a bullish market, right? And so we recognize that, so we want to be careful with our shorts, right? If we're looking for those kind of retracement, we want to look for retracement that we're looking for retracement against the underlying trend. We want to be careful, probably look for like a 1 to 2 and get out, so that was the plan, right? And then we came to the daily. Okay, we've grabbed that liquidity. All we just needed was that change of character. We saw this candle, and which our daily fractal was all the way down here. We were quite aggressive with our entry. We're quite aggressive with our entry because we just went by the 4 hour, in which, okay, this was our high and then this was our low. So we broke that low, we retraced 100% into it. Then once we broke that low, we found an entry. But the thing was, what could we have done better? We could have extended our stop loss better. So putting our stop loss at a safer zone would have helped us, because we had an early entry, and just doing that little thing would have actually let this trade end in profit. So let's keep that in mind, or I gotta keep that in mind. But putting your stop loss at the right place could be the difference between a win and a loss. Okay, guys, I wish you a wonderful day. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Back test, re-strategize, tweak your strategy, but don't change it. But you can make few tweaks to see, okay, this is not working, let's do this and try if this is working, and things like that. So you can see with GU, we just with JPY, we just came in here, grabbed that liquidity, and then boom, here we saw that change of character, right? To the downside, this became our supply level, right? Yes. So now, okay, so push down, this became our supply level. We came into that supply and then we just sold. Right now we're coming back into it, probably if we grab this high, because you're still gonna know, like, this is still a bullish leg, and we have this V-shaped reversal, and we've grabbed this liquidity right resting underneath it, so we could just keep on trickling up higher and higher and higher, looking for higher prices. So the only thing that would allow us getting for lower prices would be once we see that change of character from the supply zones, and then we can start to sell it with the market. Okay, thank you.